Greetings, fun lovers. This is Patty, and I'm going to be posting a bunch of my videos on all types of things like cooking at campsite, van tripping, boat tripping, some of my business courses, boogie fever. So stay with me and have some fun, and be sure to subscribe. Hi, everybody. Oh, yes. Tonight we're going to do episode 1 and kind of an intro to what I'm up to these days. Actually, having lots of fun. So, thank you for joining me and subscribing and all that kind of stuff. But a lot of news, a lot of news, a lot of updates. But uh, well, I've said "but" twice. Sorry about that. But the thing, oh, that's 3 times. Hey, let's count it. That'll be fun. Let's count it. So that's what I should say. So it's been a hellacious month for me. And it's actually been, you're going to find out on June 10th, 2022 is when this whole thing started. But this month has kind of kicked it all into gear. So what has happened on June 10th, 2022, I was diagnosed with pre-diabetic. I was morbidly obese. I had come off of COVID, and things just weren't looking good. The doctor was going, "Okay, we're going to give you a pass card because of COVID, but you better get your what together." So I decided to just not join a diet or a program or anything, but let's just start talking internally about what was going on with me. And so what I wanted to share with you was I had this little book. It was just plain paper. It's a sketching book for artists, and I pulled that out. And I said, why don't I just start writing in this? And so on June 10th, 2022, I started writing. And for those of you that know me, you know that I'm not really one for jurisdiction and, you know, keeping between the lines and following the rules and everything. So this was kind of fun because I could just journal and write what I wanted and as much as I wanted. And that was how this whole thing got started. Just me every day writing something down. And I always tell people, if you want to, just really put yourself forward, make a commitment, writing it down sometimes really helps. So you can see here, I put 1 year commitment in there, June 10th. And so I committed to writing and finding my way back to health and fitness because I'd always been, playing tennis and boogie boarding and running for many years, but I'd lost it, during COVID. So my goal was to lose weight, and and in these episodes that I'm going to bring to you, we'll be talking about losing weight. A lot of good health is about losing weight, so that's always fun. And I see Mike Roy's here. Hello, Mike. What does that say? I can't even read the little logo. Oh, does that say otaku? Probably. Anyway, thank you. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about what I've been up to because it's kind of exciting times right now as I'm starting to finish off my first year. On June 10th, I'll finish my first year. But here was some of the stuff I wrote. Finding my way back to health and fitness. In the first year of my commitment, I wanted to get down to 170. Now, I know a lot of us don't talk about how much we weigh or, that doesn't matter. How do you feel? But in this case, I've always gauged my weight by what I weighed on the scale. And we're going to talk about getting on the scale too during this whole time. But I got on the scale and I was at the doctor at 231, which was the highest I'd ever been. It was always like around, I hovered for the last 10, 15 years around 200. Hated being 200. I used to always say I like Wonderland, which would have a one in front of it, like 199 or anything with one would be good for me because I hovered around 200 for so many years. And then my second year goal was to be somewhere around 150 to 140, which would be my goal in doing all this. So that's how I got started. And I was reading a couple books, which we'll go over in these episodes that I'll be putting on, some of the books that you might want to get. And just record the good stuff. Put little happy faces on the good stuff that I did. The bad stuff's always going to be there. And to make efforts in my exercise, in my food, and my choices. Choices that I made. Didn't want to, like I said, join any kind of Weight Watchers or Jenny Craig. Just wanted to change it up a little bit. Well, when I look back on this, I trudged along for a while. I mean, I was, making some changes, feeling what was wrong. I was feeling a little bit lighter, and I hit. Let's see, in December, which would have been about 6 months, I hit 214. So I'd lost, a good 15 pounds, 16 pounds by December. And that's what's really nice about looking back on this. You can kind of see, where were you? You know how you felt and you know what you look like, but where were you? And so I just kept, journaling, 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 setting my goals. And so that's what brings me up to today. About a month ago, I felt like I was really plateauing. It was actually, according to my journal, it was actually 31 days ago. 30, and I'm going to be really transparent with you on this one because, hey, that's what it's all about. No, it was actually 33 days ago. I was talking to Joni Martin, who had told me about this intermittent fasting. And I always thought that fasting was always more of a spiritual thing, and fasting to me meant deprivation, that you're going to have to deprive yourself of something. And I just didn't really like the sound of it, but I went over to YouTube, of course, and started looking at some of the intermittent fasting programs. And I thought to myself, well, I don't eat breakfast, so I could actually start my window of eating, which is why I'm calling this what I'm doing my window of eating time. I could start around noon because I don't eat breakfast anyway. I never have. And you ought to hear some of the stuff they say about eating breakfast and going out of that, that window of time of your breaking the fast. Excuse me, just a moment. So I uh, I want to talk more about this window of time that I'm doing now, and that's why I'm titling it the window of time to eat, because it has really, really helped me. And as I journal, like I said, the only thing I would suggest is getting a book that's just got white sheets on it, no lines, so you can go as much as you want and whenever you want. And but today on 33, I actually hit. I'm in Wonderland, and I hit the 180s. So for me, that's 231 and 80. We're one high mid 80s. We're looking at 40 some odd pounds. Well, you would think that that would show, I mean, that when you get that big, sometimes 40 pounds isn't that much. Like if you watch those programs like 600-pound life and all that, 40 pounds is like bleh. So when you're up at like, 230-ish and you lose 40, you're still kind of pretty big. You're not really, uh, you know, oh, that's amazing to talk. Commitment is so hard. I know the feeling. I know. And this little book did it for me, just writing it down every day. So anyway, and I'm still committed. I wrote it this morning, and I'll tell you some of the stuff as we do these episodes. I don't want to keep them long. I want to keep them short. Right now, I'm at 8 minutes. So let's keep them at about maybe 15 minutes so people can just check in every day or whenever I do it. But anyway, so that was the one thing. Get a journal. I would suggest, not once again, not living with any rules. And then the other thing, the lady that really encouraged me to do this, there was actually two ladies, one in Texas and one out in Michigan, that encouraged me to do this. I'd hit like a plateau, was to let's get something that we wear that doesn't fit anymore and try it on. So this is what I'm doing. I got this black blouse, and it was out to about here. I mean, it was like it couldn't even come close. So now you can see it's inching closer. I shouldn't have another black blouse on, but I have like maybe 2 inches more where it's going to fit. So what I'd like to do is, as I keep moving forward, show you how this blouse now fits. So you can see that it's not all about the scale and it's not all about the weight, but your health in taking all that weight off your organs is really, really helpful. So that's what I'm doing. So if you want to go look, what I did when I first heard about this was look at some of the positive parts about it. One is it doesn't cost anything but your food. It's not a program that you have to, you know, pay for. Um, Intermittent fasting is a big buzzword right now, and I don't like the sound of that word because to me, it's just like fasting is like deprivation. So I like to call it my window of time. When people say, "Well, what are you doing to lose weight?" I go, "Well, my window of time is noon to 6, and I eat everything in that time period." Now, I was a nighttime nibbler. I used to sit, like, during COVID and eat popcorn and watch movies and go get some chips, and, I mean, I ate and ate and ate. So at 6 o'clock, my window stops. I mean, I am done for the day. Today, I wanted to just go a little bit longer on the not window of time, which would be the fast, and I went up to 2 o'clock. And every time that you do that, what I'm learning is your body goes into ketosis, which is, you've heard the keto diet and all that, all this stuff. Well, I didn't know what that was, but it turns out ketosis is when your body is actually burning fat. And when you're in that window where you're not eating, you can sometimes kind of just feel like, oh, I'm feeling lighter and stuff like that. So, the fast part is good. I opted, you can do all kinds. I opted for the 18-6. And what that means is I go 18 hours, and then for 6 hours is my time to eat. And that's why I'm calling this my time to eat is between noon and 6. And I stay within it. I mean, right now it's here 8:30 and 8:38 in California. I would be eating. I would be nibbling on something. I like to be a nighttime nibbler, but boy, when that 6 o'clock comes, I'm done. It has really worked for me. I don't know if it'll work for everybody, but the nice part is if you kind of control what you eat and you look and still eat the good stuff I was eating, chicken breast at noon with some broccoli, a steak or a pork chop or whatever, a lot of protein, and then maybe at night an avocado with some wasa crackers, stuff like that. I actually write down what I ate, the days before. I'm still eating popcorn. You can have popcorn, and you know what else is really kind of good on this program? They encourage butter, and I love butter. Oh my gosh! But I write all this down. Um, like, well, we went out to eat. My sister and I had a cheeseburger without the bun, and just a hamburger with some veggies that went on. The tomato and lettuce and everything on the thing. What? How hard is that? I could live without the bun. So that's how I'm doing it, and I wanted to share that with you. So I would say get a journal, start and make a year. Take a year to do it because when I look back on this year as I come up on June on my year, I go, God, look at that. I wrote every day something. I did good the day before or what I ate. I feel back on track, I wrote, blah, 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 blah. And it's something about as you see the weight releasing, for me anyway, it's motivating. Now, the last thing I want to say before I go, because like I said, I want to keep this short, is there's a big controversy about weighing yourself. People say, no, don't weigh yourself. Just how do you feel? And da 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 da. Da. And I totally agree with that. However, during this time, when I've set myself a goal to get out of morbidly obese, which by the way, I'm out of, I'm in the BMI of obese now, which is fine because I'm heading for normal. I'm fine with that. At least I got out of morbid because morbid sounds like terrible, like, oh my gosh, morbid. So I'm out of that. But I like the scale, and I'll tell you why. I thought I put it away for a while and I go, no, let's just wait a week and weigh on a week. And I just lost track of where I was. But the thing about, oh, thank you. Someone from Facebook said, I don't know who it is unless you register. So thank you for the comment. What I found about getting on the scale was when we first started this, oh gosh, about 4 or 5 months ago, we all got together on one of these programs. And we talked about let's just put the scales away. But I found for me, if I weigh myself every morning, then I can say, okay, that food worked good for me. Look at that. And oh, that amount of time. Like the other day, I ate a little bit too much on my window. So I went and scaled back the next day. And then the next day, I'd lost 3 pounds. So I could see that that's kind of, you kind of learn by what it's saying how to do it. because I'm just an experimental. I'm not, this isn't a program I've created or anything. It's just, I want to share with you how I'm doing it and it's working. In the 30 days of this intermittent fasting or time to eat is what I call it, I've lost 10 pounds. That I needed that because I'd plateaued. I couldn't get past 5 pounds. I couldn't get past 1 pound. So I needed that. And that just weighing myself, knowing that I lost 10 pounds works. So a little bit unconventional. Just in summary, if you want to try this with me, I'll be broadcasting these little updates every other day, every day when I feel like it. Um, get a journal. And if you just have a spiral thing, start now. But I recommend the plain white pages because then you can just go off the lines and write what you want. And you're not under jurisdiction. You know what I'm saying? I like free flowing. It's like an artist, you just write it. Get something that you wore when you were thinner, try it on, and then we're going to watch that come together, and a scale. And normally, like I said, I wouldn't recommend a scale, but for me, it's working. So the journal, having this blouse to check in with, and a scale is working. And then, of course, we'll talk as I do more of these of what to eat and how to eat and what things to eat, because that is really important too. Because in that window of time, they say, like my window, of course, is noon to 6. I can eat whatever I want when I want. Yeah. But if I eat 4,000 calories in that window, it's not serving any kind of purpose. So luckily, I had already been on a good uh, program that I was eating, the chicken breasts and the, veggies and, kind of no pastas, no rice, no nothing, butter on my vegetables, so butter you can have. I love that. Um, so we'll talk more about the different, ideas. A lot of people like recipe ideas and stuff like that. So we'll talk about that in my upcoming episodes. But I want to thank my friend out in Texas who encouraged me to come to you and share this with you because I just was going to do it myself. She goes, "No, you need to share this information with people." And thank you, Facebook user, who I don't know who you. I'll find out who you are later, and I'll comment with you. Is thank you for saying that because it is worthy of you hearing about it because I mean, after all, I'm at 40 something pounds. They didn't show, but it sure has some bragging sound to it, doesn't it? But you work hard at it. You get results when you work hard. So anyway, I think that's it for tonight, and then I will be with you periodically. And oh, it's Paula. Oh, hi Paula. Thank you for coming in. Uh, I'm going to uh, I'm going to stop the recording now because I want this to go over to our new or my new another day to play page. I'm going to do a whole health section on that page. So be sure and subscribe if you haven't subscribed yet. And I will see you on this next one, and we'll get together. Now, I will put in the chat room the this studio that I'm in. And if you want to come in after right now and just chit chat, just click on that link. So I will put that in the on Facebook to join me. So thanks again, everybody, and stay with me now. June 10th is coming up. Got to reach my goal. I'm shooting for in the 170s. Remember, I'm in the 180s right now, so I'm getting really close. And then the second year, I'll be going down. I'm putting it out there. I'm going down to 150, 140-ish and get to my ideal weight. And my BMI, your index, your body mass index will be healthy. And that's where I'm heading. So thank you once again. And I will put the link to this studio up in the chat room. Sayonara.